Okay, so welcome everybody to the video today. I'm going to be interviewing Ariel. Ariel works here with me at SLS, and I couldn't be more proud of this woman. She's overcome so many things in her career and her journey in insurance, and her secret is really just pushing and not giving up. So I think it'll be a really good thing for us to touch on first because most people watching this video, actually everybody watching this video, has either wanted to quit or wants to quit or is struggling or has struggled. And so Ariel, how did you do it, and what did you do to keep pushing through everything?
Well, I had, first of all, a great team working with SLS, all the mentors, the leaders, everybody, they support you extremely at SLS, and that's a big, big help. The motivation to keep going, that's a huge help. One thing I believed in the company, I believed in the business. I never done anything like this before. I never had any sales experience, but I believed in the business and I heard so many other agents' stories and, where they started from and where they are now. So that was very inspiring. And I wanted to be like them. I wanted to be in the same position. So I just told myself, just don't give up. Don't stop. Don't quit on it, Do this, keep grinding, keep showing up just the way you guys preach and it's true. Everything that you guys do teach us and it's very true. Stay consistent, keep showing up. It gets hard, but don't quit. Just keep going. It's my main thing. It's and my why, my kids, my family. I wanted to give my kids better. Um, and I knew this would be a good way to do that. So I didn't want to stop,
I
even when
love
it
it.
was really tough.
Awesome. No, I love that. That's huge. I mean,
Thanks.
and most people get to that point and they end up and they do end up giving up. They do get to that point where they're like, no, they quit. But I think one thing that I notice a difference from starting here as opposed to other places. And guys, this isn't a pitch to work with us. If you be interested, reach out. But like we are so much more hands-on with helping our agents succeed, and we have a lot of leverages and leeway that other places simply don't offer. Like if say you write bunch of business and then you leave and a bunch of people cancel or something, other companies will just terminate you or something, and we really try to go above beyond it to help each person's situation. Now, Ariel, have you kind of
Mhm.
always been like that? Like you just keep pushing, or was there something in your life that maybe sparked that?
Um, I think I've kind of always been that way. I felt like I've always been looking and searching for career-wise anyways, searching for where I can grow, where I can blossom at. And as you know, Justin, I have a CNA background, so I'm a nursing assistant.
Hmm.
And before that, after that, I've graduated with my AA and became a paralegal. I worked at a law office for a little while. So I've done phlebotomy, CNA. I've done a few different things, just always trying to find like something that I'm passionate about, something that, I'm good in, something that I
Yep.
feel like, is the thing. And if I would have never got scammed out of a position that I thought that I had last summer, I would have never found your ad on Indeed. And did you just break that?
Keep going. My microphone kind of broke. Keep going, my sister. Keep going.
Okay. I would have never found your ad on Indeed about SLS and joining the team and everything. But I've definitely always been like hungry for, looking for something that I can do and that's going to provide the lifestyle that I really want for me and my family.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that I have a similar thing. Like I kind of hopped around from place to place until I found like
Mhm.
what worked, because there's all and it's scary. Like all those other things, they provide like, the guarantee check, you show up, you get this, and
Yes.
like, but it's like you kind of always get stuck with that, and
Yes.
it's like no sense always there's not much of a sense of being able to like grow through it. So that's huge. Now, how did you so you saw it on Indeed. Now, like
Mhm.
what stimulated you though to be like, hey, I want to try insurance? Like, was it just it was something else, or like was it because I reached out to you and you applied at a bunch of places and you're like, hey, these guys hit me up. So
They called me back. Well, the main thing, the work from home
That's pretty
aspect
cool.
really got me because I was definitely looking for a position where I could work from home and be more available for my kids. At the time, I was working in St. Pete, so that was like 35 minutes away from like where my kids go to school and everything like
Hmm.
that. So if there was something going on, I would have to, break away from work. So I wanted something that I can work from home that was like a legit career. And thankfully I found your ad and you say, we'll train you, teach you everything you need to know. It's a work from home position. I was like, oh well, okay, well let me try this. Let me see what they're talking about. And, you know, rest is history. I started and here I
Sweet.
am.
How do you balance that at home, working at home with your kids? Because a lot of people cannot do the work from home thing. They literally fall apart. So how did you make it work?
Yeah. Well, it was a struggle, but definitely focusing on your why is a big thing. My kids, I am a single mom. But my kids, they are a little older. They're 11 and 9, so they are able to do more things for
Hmm.
themselves now, which is a bigger help. Um, they don't have to sit around and wait for me to get up and do something for them. They can like get up and, tend to themselves. But just writing down a schedule, planning out my week, grocery store, laundry, like making a plan for everything and definitely planning time for work is a big major help. And having a being held accountable is definitely a big push also, because if you say, you're going to do something, I want to hit this number, and you tell your whole team, they're looking at you like, all right, well, what you going to do? You told us this, so you got to show up. So definitely the accountability and making a schedule is going to keep you together, keep it all together.
What do you
Helps
do if
flow.
things come up in that schedule? Because like I help people make schedules all the time that aren't able to
Hmm.
follow it. So things come up and they're like, oh, this came up, that came up. But that happens to me too. But so
Hmm.
how do you like have your schedule so that hey, you get done what you need to get done, but also I'm sure random things come up that may pull you
Hmm.
away from it here or there where it's not exactly as it is. So how do you like make sure that you still get everything done while handling those random things that come up?
I try to make up for it. If there is something that pulls me away from my work time, I try to come back later on that night, later that evening, and make up work. If I'm not where I want to be at by Saturday, I'll show up on Sunday. I'll show
Mhm.
up and work on Sunday and grind it out Sunday. So I always try to make up for, if I'm lacking in the daytime, I'm working at nighttime to make up for where I lacked in the daytime. So no excuses, only results count, like
That's
we
right.
say at SLS. No excuses, only results count. So if I'm not able to work in the daytime, I'm going to be working at nighttime. And if I haven't hit my numbers by Friday, Saturday, whatever, I'm definitely working on Sunday to so I can hit those numbers. So just staying hungry for it, knowing my why and staying hungry for it, it keeps me balanced, keep me focused on why I'm doing it.
No, that's huge. And like, um, a lot like another thing too, guys, if anybody watching this, if you find yourself getting pulled away during the day, because there are other people who I've worked with and who I know in the business that I haven't worked with who have kids and stuff, or things come up and they're like, oh, I had to stop at 2 or 3. It's like, okay, well, once that stuff's done, it's not check out for the night. It's hey, let me
Hmm.
go do this. And you can pick your hard, right? Like it's hard.
Yes.
It's hard. It can be hard to go do this at 7:30 at night when you don't feel like it and grind it out for a couple hours, right? Like
Yes.
no one wants to go do that. Everyone wants to really lay down in bed and kind of watch TV or eat something or go out with their friends or something like that.
Right.
But if you do that, then other stuff gets hard. So it's like, go through it,
Absolutely.
put in the work now, and then over time that comes up. Now, how do you draw that line with your kids too? Because like, do they know like, hey, mom's working, and or like, how do they, are they respectful of that?
Yes, they are. When my doors close, I'll let them know, like, "Hey, mom's gonna be working for a few hours. Like, don't mess with me." I'll let
Cool.
them know. I lock the door so they just can't bust in my room. If I'm working in my
Mhm.
room, so they just won't bust in the room. But yeah, they try to be pretty respectful. They try to keep it quiet if they know, like, I am on a call. They try to quiet down and everything, so they do understand. And they, it's cool because they're watching me, working and grinding and everything. So if I am on the leaderboard, they'll come up and want to see where I am on the leaderboard. What number are you at now, mommy?
I
Oh,
love
you're
that.
low this week. You need to do some more work. So they like also encourage me to like, yeah, you need to keep going, keep working because you're only one time I was like 105 on the leaderboard. And they're like, well, last week you were like number 16. You're not doing good. I'm like, okay, guys. Right. So they keep me keep me motivated, keep going.
That's hilarious. That's awesome. And that's so I didn't even think about that. That's such a good point. Like one,
Yeah.
they'll encourage you, but two, like they see you grinding it out. So if they're
Mhm.
like, "Oh man, mom's putting in extra time at night," like it maybe it helps kids be like, "Oh," like because kids copy what their parents do, right? So it's
Yes.
like they're like, "Well, maybe I should like do something extra at night. Maybe it's cool for me." Or
Yes.
if they don't do it, they get those ideas like, "Hey, maybe I should like be productive later
Absolutely.
or do this." So that's really
'Cause they're
cool.
always watching you, your kids are always watching you. So I wanna, set a good example, be the example of, wow, mommy she was single by herself, but she worked her butt off and, she never stopped. And I definitely want to be a role model for them. So I try
Awesome.
my best to keep going.
Oh, I love that. Now, in terms of the sales side of it, you are pretty talented at sales and you're pretty good. You worked really hard, you built up a skill.
Yay. Thanks.
And I also know that you're kind of I can tell in your calls you're pretty good at it. So what was the from the sales standpoint, what were some of the through what were the biggest challenges that you experienced when you started that maybe you didn't anticipate?
Um, Building rapport. Just having a conversation with people was actually, my biggest challenge. And, my coach, she wants you to build the rapport for like 15 minutes, and that's a long time. For me,
Yes.
that's a long time. I'm naturally an introvert, so I'm naturally quiet. I stick to myself. So this job right here definitely pulled out a lot of those skills that I didn't know that I had, or just just develop those skills, because just talking to people just casually was something that I did struggle with. So that was definitely like the biggest hurdle for me to get over. Now, it's much better. It's much easier now to just simply have a conversation. And I think coming into it, like you don't know what to expect. So I had a certain idea of what it was going to be like being an insurance agent, but getting into it and working from home, it's a much more relaxed setting, which I wasn't expecting. So just switching my mindset of just, relax. You don't have to be so uptight or serious as I thought that I needed to be, was a big once that switch, that helped me a lot with just relaxing and just talking to people and just understanding the reason of why they're looking for this product, why they want this product, was a big help once I switched that mindset.
Awesome. Cool. No, that's huge. And because like sometimes when we take the insurance course, the license course, makes us feel like it's this like
Yeah.
crazy, like super mega professional like
Yes.
thing,
That's
and it's
exactly what I
like,
thought.
yeah, and it's like, and then once we get into it and you actually start talking to clients, you realize like, hey, like maybe like, you know, this is not really like that. Like you got to have the
Right.
conversation aspect of
hmm
it too. Now, what do you think there was something that what are the things that you feel like you were really good at from a sales aspect, sales standpoint?
Following the script.
Cool.
Very good at following the script, collecting information. That very good at that. Like that's not an issue at all. But the challenging part for me was building the connection, building that rapport. But it's much easier now. Understanding what they qualify for, like as far as underwriting and everything. I feel like I've that was easy for me. One of the easiest things for me to get. Um, yeah, that's about it.
Cool. Awesome. So we got you're big on planning, accountability, putting in time on the weekends and evening to hit your goals. Your
Yes.
kids are watching you.
Yes.
What are some
Always.
goals that you have now?
Whew. Well, thankfully, we just moved into our new place, our new home. So the girls are very happy. They now have their own room. So One of my new goals is getting a new car because I still have to do that. That's on my to-do list. Definitely, I want to get a new SUV. Definitely save up because I've been paying off some student loans, paying off some bills, so that's definitely good. That's huge. I want to continue to do that. Save up some more money. My sister and my mom, they actually just started with the company as well. So I want to be able to help them also
That's
grow
awesome.
and blossom what they're doing also. But main thing, my main next thing would be to get a new car, to get a new SUV, something bigger for me and the girls. So we have a car now, so we need something bigger.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
just
They're
keep
getting
saving
bigger.
up. Oh yes, they're like just as tall as me. Even though they're 11 and 9, they're tall as me. Yeah.
Cool. It's really cool you got your whole family involved too, your mom and your sister, because I found like that whole accountability. I hope you guys, I don't know if you guys talk about it, and you can be a form of encouragement for them too. Like they're just starting, so they're probably in the they may be at the part where like, oh, this is tough, this is a challenge.
Yes.
And you're
Yes.
like, yo, just stick with it. I'm telling you. That's like
Yes.
that's it.
Definitely. My mom, before she made her sale, it was like a Saturday, 2 weeks ago, and she called me. She's like, "Yeah, Ariel, like I don't know about this. You didn't tell me it was gonna be like this. I'm not sure I can do this. I don't like it." So I was like, "It's okay, mom. Just stick it out. Don't give
Mhm.
up." And then like 2 hours later, she had made her first sale. And
That's
she
awesome.
called me back, like, so happy. She's like, "Oh my gosh, like, I did it." So it was just really cool to see her, struggle at first and stick it out. And, now she's an agent. She's making sales. So it's
That's the
very
story
cool.
of it though. It's like you start and you struggle, and
Yes.
everyone has a challenge. Like people get into this thinking it's gonna be like the easiest, like easy, or like
Ye
I think, yeah. So like
Yeah,
you
it's not.
just gotta pursue. No, no, it's not. It's not.
Yeah, you gotta build skills. You do have to build, skills to do this. Like they say, the job is, mental. It's like 90% mental because you are dialing and, you're in your head sometimes with like, "Is this worth it? Why am I doing this? I don't wanna do this. I can't do it." But you can't focus on that negative talk. You gotta be positive, gotta believe in yourself and stay
Mhm.
consistent, keep showing up.
Yeah, 100%. It's awesome. So walk me through the skeleton of your presentation. Like we're not going to go, we can't read the whole script, but walk me through the skeleton of what your presentation looks like. Like what are the steps? What's the flow you bring people through?
Introduce myself, let them know why I'm calling, just following up. um, Once they give me that okay, I'll verify their information, letting them know that we have spoken briefly before, this is a legit call. And then I'll go right into letting them know again, I am an agent with the company. I tell them my job is to go over the affordable plans, and help them apply if there's anything that they're interested in. And then I try to learn a little about them from that point. You know, are they married? Do they have family, kids? What's their reason of, why they want something like this?
Hmm.
After that, we'll jump into health, understanding what it is that they qualify for, and going through a few different plans that way. So it takes for me like 30, maybe 40 minutes
To
for
make
on a
the sale.
call. Yeah.
Is
hmm
that from the beginning to the when the app is done, or from the beginning to when you close it?
Um, I would say from beginning to closing.
Cool.
If I'm
And then
like
the app
building
comes
rapport now.
after.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. 30 to 40 minutes of just talking and trying to close it out and then doing the app afterwards.
Cool. How do you handle tough clients in the greeting? Like, I'm sure you've been harassed. I'm sure you get some
Oh,
people who get mad. Like, how do you, number one, how do you overcome those people and deal with them, or do you not? You just hang up. And then number two, how do you deal with that mentally when people are like grouchy or mean or whatever? And as a woman too, people say unique things. So it's I'm sure.
yes.
So it's like I've heard recordings. So it's like, so yeah.
Well,
How do you overcome them? First off, how do you push past those or handle those grouchies?
the biggest thing that I've learned is to not take it personal. Don't take anything personal. These people don't know you. You don't know them at all. So if they, answer the phone and they're cussing you out, don't take it personal. I laugh it off. Whereas I used to like, oh my God, they cuss me out, like they hate me. But now it's like, "Betty, it's okay." Like, I try to laugh it off, breeze breeze by it, push through it, and keep going. If they're just too, disrespectful, too grumpy, yeah, I let them go. I won't, try to entertain that. But if initially they are grumpy, I'll laugh it off, try to push through it, and they might lighten up and loosen up, and then it'll be, a easy transition of just talking to them. But definitely, I don't take anything personal now. Um, just try to have a light sense of humor, like, "Oh, I totally understand. You're upset right now," but just try to keep pushing through it. Like,
Cool.
main thing, don't take it personal.
Awesome. And okay, so did you used to kind of be like, man, that's like these people are
Mhm.
kind of
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone
because I
does.
felt like, with doing this, I'm now a licensed insurance agent, and like you guys provide all of our leads. So I was like, oh, awesome. This is going to be a piece of cake. Everybody that I'm calling is people that's called into the company who's told us that they want it. So they're going to, accept me right away. And when that wasn't the case, I was like, whoa, like, is it me? What am I doing that's wrong? They're not liking me.
Yeah.
But yeah, just don't take it personal.
You
Gotta
know, that's huge. Like my thing is this is like I think we're so used to, if someone that we love or care about says something mean to us, of course we're gonna take it personal because
yeah.
it's like, hey, why are you treating me like that?
Mhm.
But it's like what I learned is if a stranger says something, it says more about them than me. Even if someone person
Yes.
that we love say something, but it's really hard if it's someone we care about and love and they say something or do something that's mean for us to
Right.
not take it personal. But when it's a stranger, guys, just understand like who cares? Like you'll never
Mhm.
have to see this person ever again. There was
Right.
no relationship. So like they're not
Uh-huh.
even damaging anything. It's not
Yes.
like it's anything you got to really worry about repairing. And for me, I try to put myself in their shoes. So I'm
Mhm.
thinking like, okay, if I'm walking and I got stuff in my hands and I got hot coffee and then my phone starts buzzing and and they call me 3 times in a row and then I spill my
Mhm.
coffee and then my papers are everywhere. They got coffee on them and I answer the phone and it's someone trying to sell me insurance. I'm going to be like, yo, like chill,
Right.
like
Right.
I am good right now. Leave me alone. So, or
Right.
if someone just got in a fight with someone or an argument, or you have those people who put the beneficiary down as like their daughter, and they're like, not her no more. Nope. I
Right.
talked to her earlier.
It's like,
It's
"What?"
like, okay, okay, So guys, don't take anything that people say personally. It's more a reflection of them than you, and you just gotta like push through and not care because most of these people are
Yeah.
keyboard warriors. Like if you were face to face with them, they would not be talking to you like that.
Mhm.
They're usually just like the telemarketer stigma. So, what's the biggest objection you get when you're calling people like in the beginning?
Mm. In the beginning, I didn't do that. I'm not interested. That's the biggest one. I'm not interested.
How do you
That's the
overcome it?
biggest the
Ariel,
biggest
not
one.
interested.
Oh, I totally understand, Justin. It's just my job to get you this to go over this information in the shortest amount of time possible so you can make a decision whenever you're ready. Let me just verify your information. I'm showing your
Cool.
name is Justin.
Perfect.
Get right into
Awesome.
it.
And it's really that easy, guys. Like in her tone, though, right there was perfect. Very disarming. And that phrase right there, if you go to the website in the description of the video, rebuttalspage.com, you can purchase lifetime access to my rebuttals page. And that's helped so many people on our team
Yes.
sales.
Yes.
And my team gets free access, but you guys, viewers, literally $39. You make one sale, you cover it 10 times over. So that's an example of one of the rebuttals on
That's
there.
awesome.
Thank you. Now,
Mhm.
one of the what about in the close? So when you're going to the close, what's the most common objection you get?
I got to think about it. I got to ask my daughter. I got to think about it. That's
So
the
when
biggest
someone
one.
says they have to think about it, what do you think that even mean? Like, what's that even mean to you?
Well, from learning, that they don't trust you enough. I haven't earned their trust enough
Mhm.
or haven't built up the need enough, built up the reason why that they need the product enough. So if that happens, try to loop them, go over the loop a few times, and push through that, you know,
Cool.
let them know, try to reassure them again that I know, I understand it's an important decision that you have to make. Of course, you want to think about it. I just want to get you approved and get you qualified. You're going to get everything in the mail and you'll have 30 days to review everything to look it over, make your final decision, and just keep looping them with that. And yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So you just keep pushing.
Yeah, keep
Now,
pushing.
how about your follow up? What do you do to follow up? I mean, do you get a lot of follow up sales? Like, what's your follow up game look like?
I don't get a lot of follow-up sales. Follow-ups
You
are
got to
hard.
follow up more then.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm not as consistent with my follow-ups as I need to be. I'll try a few times, and I just feel like, like if the initial conversation was good, we spent 30, 35 minutes on a call, and I'm setting up a call back and I'm calling them back and they're not answering. I try to call back like four times. After that four time, not in a
You give
day,
up.
but like four
Yeah.
different times.
Yep.
But after that, I will like let them go. Um, but I know following up is really, really, really good. There's a lot of agents whose follow up game is like super strong and like they're doing really well. So that is something that I do need to work on following up, trying to get them
Well,
again.
I'll give you a tip here. So when I started selling, so here at SLS guys, we provide unlimited leads to our agents at pretty much no cost, and it's you start at 50% commission plus bonuses. So after everything's said and done, it's a much better setup than starting out at a higher comp paying for leads.
Hmm.
So um, we have um, when I was paying for leads, because I started in a system where I had higher comp and I was paying for leads, I was super crazy about my follow up because I'm like, dang, I just paid this much money for this name and number, right? So
Right.
for me, it was like more urgency to create a follow up system.
Hmm.
And what I learned in Cardone University is that the average sale is made on the 7th to 12th callback attempt. So not this, it's like, so, 7 to 12 times actually reaching back out to them is when the average sale is made. I found it was around like maybe 8 to 10. So
Okay.
all I did is I have a notepad, like a legal pad or like a notepad, and I would put the person's name that I call it the red zone. So it's like red zone
Mhm.
in football is when you're within the 20-yard line, you're really close to scoring a touchdown. So it was like my red zone. I'm really close to closing this sale. So I had like my list, it was my red zone list, and I put their name and their number, and then like the reason, that they wanted it, like what happened at the end of the sale, needed to think about
Mhm.
it, had to talk to their spouse, had to do XYZ. And then every day I would just go down that list and call them and text them. If they didn't answer, I'd shoot them a text. Text is huge for follow up. Like I would text so many people and get so much more response from a text because people see your number and they don't know who you are. And they don't
Right.
even listen to voicemails anymore. But a text from the same cell phone number, I promise you they see it. Like there are a few people like me. I know I get so many texts every day. I literally have how many unread texts, and I cleared it when we were in Texas a couple weeks ago. I have
Mhm.
967 unread texts, right? And it's not even
Wow.
trying to be a jerk. It's just like there's so many texts that I'm looped in on that I don't really need to respond to, group chat, stuff like
Mhm.
that. But most people, so when I'm like, I missed your text, like I ain't lying. But if it's like, but most people like it's not the case. So when our clients
Yeah.
who have 4 contacts in their phone, are like when they get a text message, they see it, guys, and they're
Mhm.
they're going to see it, and they're going to see, hey, this is Ariel following up with you about the final expense plan. Hope you're doing well. Take little notes from the sale. You open up their profile in the CRM. You see it had a little dog. Send them a meme of a dog or a funny little GIF or something, and be like, "Oh, thinking about you and Fluffy. Did you end up getting and did you make a decision on the insurance? You want me to cover it again or whatever? Anything that you can do to be creative." So
Okay.
I found that those little touches really help so much, and there were so many people who I would end up closing for like it would just end up and they'd stick because it's like, hey, other agents aren't going to keep in touch with and follow those people up. So
Mhm.
just a tip, have that list, go down through it once a day or once every other day, and make sure you call, text, do whatever you got to do to be in touch. And so that's just a follow up tip that I found worked for me
Okay.
pretty well.
Thank you. I'm definitely going to start doing that because I wasn't aware that the follow up is, you said 7 or 8 times?
It's the
That's
average
after the
sales
sale?
made on the 7th to 12th contact.
7
Yeah,
to 12. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll
So
keep that in mind then and
yeah,
definitely
keep
start
pushing.
doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, if it's someone, guys, if it's like a direct express card, don't kill yourself trying to follow up
Mhm.
with them, right? If it's
Right.
like a low premium guaranteed issue sale, then it may not be like, the best like if like 20 bucks a month was like a struggle for them, then
Yeah.
obviously don't follow up with
Let
them.
them go.
Yeah, if they had like crazy Alzheimer's or dementia, it came up to be like, let them go. Don't follow. It's probably unethical to even sell them a policy in the first place. But
Mhm.
most of the time, there's a reason for follow-up, and you just keep in touch. Lexi Berger, her follow-up game is huge. She does well with that, and so
Mhm.
yeah, definitely that's a big facet of it. But the fact that most of your sales are one call closes and you're cranking it you're crushing it. It's really, really, really impressive. Super cool.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, they
So
are
three,
mainly one call closes.
yeah, for sure. 3 tips you have to anybody watching this who's in the business?
Whew. Believe in yourself.
Because that's a place to
Definitely.
start.
But it's so true though. It's so true. Like I said, I had no sales background, no idea about this industry or anything like that. But once I learned about it, I started thinking bigger, dreaming, and I believed in myself. So definitely, guys, believe in yourself.
And
Know
find
that you
someone
can
who
do
believes
it.
in you, even if you don't believe in yourself.
Oh, yes. Thank you for that, Justin, because you are definitely, like you told me, like technically you weren't even supposed to hire me. You weren't supposed to
I
let me
wasn't.
on, but you did. You did. You believed in me. You encouraged me definitely, and you're a big reason why I am here. So definitely, guys, getting a mentor, a support system, team that believes in you, that will train you, encourage you is huge. It is definitely huge, and know your why. Focus on your why. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to get into this position?
Mhm.
What we're doing is helping so many people. We really are helping so many families protect them and get the protection in place that they really need. So it is a huge position that we are in. You got to be grateful for it. Appreciate this position. Once you're in it, don't give up. Believe in yourself, grind it out, and it'll all pay off. It'll pay off.
Cool. So believe in yourself. Number 2,
Support system, support
support
team,
system.
mentor.
Find a support
Yes.
system. Cool.
Yes. Focus on your why. Know
And then
why
3,
you're in
focus on the why.
this. Yes.
Cool.
Know why you're doing it.
That's
It's
it.
huge.
That's the key.
Mhm.
Ariel,
Absolutely.
thank you so much for being on here. Appreciate it. Thank you for
Thank
taking the
you,
time.
Justin.
And we'll see you at the top. If you guys um, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I should have said this earlier. Drop any comments you have for myself or Ariel, and click the link in just there'll be my contact information in the description if you'd like to get in touch with me to learn more or to learn more about the opportunity, or if you have any questions, you want a copy of a sales script I have for final expense, any of that stuff. Also, you don't want to miss this next video coming up. There's some awesome training in this. Please stay tuned. Even if you've got to watch it at 2x speed, you definitely want to watch this next video.
Don't miss it.